Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Break Time. It's time to take a step back, breathe, and take a break from studying and all the stress that comes with it, okay? Now I'm sure some of you may have been under the so-called terror teachers, no? Myself included, no, according to some students who have stood for 3 hours on end in a class, okay? Well, to be fair on my part, I tell them you can sit at any time, but you will receive the corresponding grade. In fact, no, the longer you keep standing, the more chances you have of redeeming yourself, instead of if I let you sit down right away with a grade of 70. Okay? So you have all the time to redeem yourself until the bell rings. Okay? Now, teaching styles vary from teacher to teacher. And whether your teacher is a terror teacher or one who just gives lectures, appreciate them because they are trying their best to impart their knowledge to you and draw out your full potential. Okay? Now, let me just share a story about my experience with some so-called terror teachers. There was a time when I was a working student, so I had less time to study. And it just so happened that I had 2 terror teachers in one semester when I was working. And one of them had a reputation for having a high failing rate. Okay? So much so that in my class, out of the 20 students, only 3 of us passed, myself included. Huh? So, do not hate these kinds of teachers because they are simply trying to challenge you and draw out what they know to be the potential that exists within you. Okay? So much so that when I was already enrolling for the final year in my law school, I purposely sought out those so-called terror teachers and enrolled under them because I knew that I would be challenged and that challenge would help me retain the subject matter. Okay? That is not to say that avoid the lecture teachers, no? Because they are also good. It is only a matter of studying preferences and pacing, no? If you are the kind who learns better under lectures and you can choose your professor, no? Granting if you can do that, no? Then go for them. You are free to do so, no? But for people like me who need to be challenged in order to retain information and improve their thought processes, then by all means, do not avoid the terror teachers, no? And why do I say this? Because here is the tip for today that I will be giving you, no? I first realized how to properly study law and retain it under those 2 terror teachers that I mentioned earlier, okay? The first terror teacher, not the one that had a reputation for failing, let's just call him Attorney S, okay? Attorney S was the first teacher whom I heard this statement, no? It is not enough to simply know the law. Because you can know the law, you can read it, okay? You must learn how to properly apply the law. Okay, when I finally understood what he was saying, I realized that the way I was studying was not enough. Okay, that is why I would get a lot of answers wrong because I knew the principles, but I did not know how to apply them. And what matters is application of the law. Okay? And it was the second teacher, the one that failed a lot of students in his time as a teacher, no? It was under that teacher that I learned how to properly apply the law. Okay? He gave us examples on how the law is applied in certain situations. So you have to learn how to, well, first of course, you have to learn the law itself. No? When you know the principles, that is when you try to see how to apply them in your day-to-day life. Okay? And how do you learn how to apply them to your day-to-day life? By studying the cases, no? You see how the Supreme Court has applied them to a particular set of facts. And when you know how the Supreme Court has applied a particular law to a set of facts, you may do the same. That is why even in law practice, we cite jurisprudence, we cite the rulings of the Supreme Court in order to bolster or support our argument and show that it is correct, okay? Because this is how you apply a certain law to the set of facts. So whenever there is a hypothetical question, such as those where X entered into a contract with Y, you have to know the law first and know how to apply the law to the facts and circumstances. Okay? So that's it. Now let's resume studying. Okay? Bye!